Hello, my name is Addison Dunaway, and this is my video presentation for sex, love, and commitment. The reason that I chose this topic was because I've always been fascinated with why people make certain choices pertaining to relationships, such as why people stay, why people leave, and the pros and cons that come with it. I also like to look at why relationships succeed and why other relationships fail. And looking at intimate relationships and casual relationships or hookups is very interesting for me to learn about. I like to learn why people make different commitment choices, such as why some people cheat on their significant others or why other people stay loyal. So the article that I chose was by Weigel and Ballard-Risch, and it looks at the commitment in intimate relationships. And specifically, they look at the expression of commitment that people have towards their significant other. So for the source summary, they looked at a variety of behaviors that are expressed through everyday interactions. They classified this as telling each other how they feel towards one another, providing affection and support, remaining faithful, and working towards the relationship and working towards that together, whether that be problems or goals or successes or anything such like that. The study looks at interdependence and how people use the cost and rewards of their relationship. Interdependence means how they are dependent on one another. I don't think they're looking at it as a codependent relationship, more just how they work together. The independent variable being how the couple reacted in times of stress and emergency, and the dependent variable being how they displayed commitment through that. The source summary continued, in this study they found that commitment promoted the use of accommodation and willingness to sacrifice. When accommodation and willingness to sacrifice were perceived by the partner, the perception of those behaviors eventually related to higher levels of commitment and satisfaction. And because of this commitment and satisfaction displays, it creates motivation to continue to engage in everyday expressions of commitment, and it also helps people with their self-esteem, self-confidence, and helps with self-love. And for the method, the researchers took 189 heterosexual couples that were in romantic relationships, and they had them complete a questionnaire. The survey included measures of everyday indicators and perceptions of relational commitment, such as I tell my partner I love them every day, I show my partner how I feel through actions, and things along those lines. And they connected their answers to their relational satisfaction. And the results were that sex played a big role in what type of behaviors and actions were occurring in everyday expression of commitment, classifying sex as men or women. And women showed more everyday actions of commitment than men do. However, men seem to notice their partner using the everyday actions of commitment more than women. So this basically means that women will display more actions of commitment, but they are less likely to recognize when men will display those types of actions, but the men notice it more often. What did this teach me? The book talks about the quantity of alternatives, which is basically just weighing the pros and cons of the relationship. And when there's more cons to the relationship, that means that people leave. And when there are more pros, it means that people continue that relationship. And also, the study mentions how the rewards and costs, like I said earlier, drive our commitment level. And so people who have high levels of commitment have higher pros and less cons, and they're more likely to stay in those relationships. And for my discussion questions, I want to know, do you think that cultural standards and stereotypes play a large role in how people express their commitment and feelings towards their partner? And what are some everyday actions that you can think of to show your partner that you care and are committed to them? And this is my reference. Some limitations that were included in this study are that they only had heterosexual couples that were of the ages of 20 to, I would say, upper 20s. So that left out a large group of people and a large group of demographics. Some generalizations I think that they made are that people express commitment in the same ways. They didn't look at how some people who are introverted or extroverted, or people who use actions, or they didn't include any of the love languages. But I think if they would have done that, they would have gotten different results. I had several other important articles that I also found super interesting, but I think that this one was the one that I think most people could apply to their everyday relationships. And it kind of made me think about the ways that I show commitment to not only my partner, but to people in my family and to my friends as well. I hope that everyone has a great rest of the week, and thank you.